call it that. I went to live exactly 2 p.m. and it's just anyway. Let's continue. All right. So as I was saying, or better still, it's best I begin. I start all over. Okay. So like I posted on my timeline yesterday, we are going to be talking about real estate in general, and also talk about how to overcome your fears of investing in Lagos real estate. Also, we'll be talking about mortgage, because I've been getting lots of questions in my DM, in on my WhatsApp, you know, most especially from Nigerians in diaspora, especially by Nigerians in diaspora about mortgage. Okay, how to facilitate mortgage in Nigeria. Okay, so first let's begin with definitions. Thank you for joining in. Good afternoon. Hope I'm audible. Hope you can hear me. If you can, kindly type a yes in the comment section. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining in. Okay, so first let's start with definitions. What exactly is real estate? What does it mean? You know, we throw the word about a lot. Real estate, come and buy, come and invest, come and purchase this, that. You know, people understand, you know, people have a clue really, but now let's go into definition. What does real estate mean? What is it all about? All right. So real estate basically is just it means property consisting of the land, the buildings on it, the roads, the fixing, the improvement, the infrastructure, all right, above it, the natural resources, below it, all right, like your own space here on earth. That is why it's called real, because it's tangible. You can see it, you can touch it, you can stand on it, you know, so it's tangible, it's real estate, it's a property consisting of the land, the building, the improvements, the road, everything on it, everything below it. And that's what real estate mean basically in layman terms. Of course, there are more complex definition for it. There are more complex definitions for it. But I decided to go with this because it's easy to understand. Like they say, it's in layman terms. All right. So now let's try to talk. Let's also talk about the importance. All right, the benefits of real estate as an investment. Okay, first let's define investment. Let's understand what investment means. Okay, so what is an investment? What is investment? Okay, investment is the action or process of acquiring, all right, of acquiring an asset or an item with the goal of generating income or appreciation. With the goal of generating income or appreciation. That is what um that is what investment means. Is the process of acquiring an asset. Okay? An asset with the goal of generating income, with the goal of generating appreciation, that is higher value, of course. All right. The intention is not to consume it, but to use it in the future to create wealth, to create more wealth. All right. That is the definition of investment. Okay. So now let's now bring that definition of investment into real estate. Now, investment, real estate investment, real estate investing, investing in real estate. Okay. So now, investing in real estate simply means the purchase, the management, and sale of real estate for profit. Basically, for profit or cash flow, either actively or passively. All right, investment, investing in real estate, the definition basically is just the purchase, the management, the sale, the rental, you know, of real estate to generate more wealth, to generate more income. All right. So Now let's look into, I want this to be as fast. I want to go through all these things as fast as possible due to the network issues. All right. So now let's talk about types of real estate investment. All right. Here in my journal, I listed out three. Okay. And these are the ones that I apply here in Nigeria. We have the residential, we have the YouTube family. Hope you can hear me. If you can, kindly leave a comment. You can type audible or yes in the comment section if you can hear me. All right. So now we have the residential real estate. We have the commercial. Under the commercial, we have the industrial as well. Okay. Then the third type is the rates. That is the REIT. That is the real estate investment trust. These are the three types of real estate investment you choose. You can decide to go for the residential. You can decide to just buy land for residential purposes, or you can decide to buy apartment buildings. All right. Then you can also go for the commercial, that is buying commercial plots or buying office complexes for rental or for sale. Many the option are much. The option abounds. All right. Also, the REITs, that is the rates, the trusts, the real estate investment trust. In Nigeria here, they are under different names. All right. You hear them call it real estate cashback. Some call it cashback. That is, you will invest a certain type of amount, and this particular option is suitable for people that want to test the waters. All right, you want to test the waters. You're being skeptical about it. You don't know um which one exactly to go for, and you want to just try it out. You can decide to go for the rates. There are schemes with which you can invest as low as 1 million naira, and in a span of, let's say, 6 months, 1 year, 10 months, depending on the type, you get an added value. Okay, it increases in value with some percentage. Some go as high as 20, 35%. Okay, and there are some that they call what's it called now, um buyback plan. There's also another one called the buyback plan, where you buy units. You can decide to buy 2 units, multiple units of an investment in real estate, and you get a return plus your capital. In most cases, people don't really get back their capital. They just get they get their profits. Okay, it's deposited into their accounts while the main capital keeps running, generating more income and profits for them. All right, that's the part of it. But basically, we'll be talking about residential and commercial. If you would like to go for the rates option, you can link me up. You can chat me up in via my DM on Facebook, Instagram, or you can click any of the links on my Facebook profile. I think I have my WhatsApp link there. Yeah, I have my WhatsApp link right there. You can decide to click on it and ask more question about the real estate investment trust. All right. Okay. So now let's talk about um, real estate. Now we've done the definition. We've talked about the importance. We've talked about the types. And when we talk about real estate, I can boldly say it. It requires a lot of foresightedness. All right. A lot of foresightedness is involved. All right. Okay, for it to generate fruitful returns for you, you need a lot of foresightedness. And foresightedness in the sense that you ask yourself this question: where am I going to invest? Which area am I looking at? Where in particular am I going to sow this my seed for it to generate greater returns for me? Is government presence in this particular area? Are there infrastructures in place? What is the appreciation rate in this area? These are the questions you ask yourself. All right. That is why I say it requires a lot of foresightedness. Okay, because the questions you have um to think, to ponder about. Okay, so that is where this location Ibejuleki and Ekpe comes in. Why Ibejuleki and Ekpe? Ask yourself, why must I own a property in Ibejuleki and Ekpe, either residential or commercial? Why? Ask yourself that question and write down your answer. Now, these are the these are the other questions I will also want you to ask after asking yourself that first question. Is government presence in this area in Ibejuleki and Ekpe? Yes. Are there infrastructures in place in Ibejuleki and Ekpe? Yes. Okay. Are there mega projects in this area that will drive up, that will cause the appreciation rate to skyrocket? The answer to that also is yes. You know? So for Ibejuleki and Ekwe, these are viable investment options that you can go for, either residential or commercial. I'm sure if you look through my walls on my YouTube, my Instagram, and my Facebook, you see lots of options that you can go for, lots of projects that you can go for with good title and flexible payment plan. Now, let me go back to foresightedness, okay, because there's a lot to it. I heard a story some time ago about someone who, I don't want to use the word coerced, was encouraged to own a property in his village. I won't say it's a bad thing, all right, but later on he felt it was a waste of money because he did not appreciate in value. It was just there, more like a waste of money. Did not get the value, did not appreciate nothing. And why is that, if you would ask? Because nothing is happening in that village. The roads to the place are bad, no major infrastructure, no government presence in the parts, in the location they bought from. Also, businesses, foreign business are not coming in. There are no activities that drives the economy in that area. And these things that I've mentioned are here in Ibejuleki and Ekpe. As a matter of fact, Ekpe is now termed a commercial, a thriving commercial hub. Okay, so that is where the foresightedness comes in. You have to be calculative with your investment option. It's not just about buying the land, it's not just about buying the house. The question you will ask further is, will it serve its purpose? Now, what is the purpose? What is the purpose? Of course, the purpose is to generate um, more wealth in the future because it's an investment, right? Based on the definition we had earlier. Okay, will it serve its purpose? What is the appreciation rate per year? If I buy a land of 10 million naira or 18 million naira today, at how many percent will it appreciate? Is it 100%? Is it 200%? In most cases, it appreciates with 1000%, depending on the location. All right, I think that has been elaborated on. Okay, so now let's talk about characteristics. I don't know why the Facebook feed, the YouTube feed is hanging. Oh, gracious God. The network is really bad, so I just have to hasten things up. Okay, now what are the characteristics actually of real estate? Now, it's immune to inflation. You know, we are plagued with inflation here in Nigeria, okay? But with real estate, it's immune to inflation. No matter how worse the inflation is, no matter how high the numbers are, okay? It's immune to the inflation, all right? Also, it allows use of leverage when you have land. You can leverage on that. You can bring in partners. like a joint venture. Yes, it's called a joint venture, JV for short. You can leverage on that, bring people on board, develop something, start from there, and either build to sell it or build to lease. All right. So now, another characteristics, I actually listed six here amongst, at least just six. Value enhancement and appreciation. Of course, it appreciates the value, uh, goes higher in the long run. All right. It's tangible. One of the characteristics, it's tangible. It's physical existence. You can touch it, you can stand on it, it's seen and touched. So real estate, one of the characteristics is that it is tangible. Okay. Oh, if you can hear me, please leave a comment below so we can continue. I hope I'm audible enough as well. All right. So one of the characteristics is it is profitable even during recession. Okay. During recession, one of the major sales I made in real estate was during COVID, during the lockdown, actually. It was a big project, yeah. Even in COVID, when people are experiencing lockdown, most people are really, you know, uh, keeping their money and not wanting to spend it. Some are really buying real estate because it was a distress sale, actually. The person selling needed the money because it was lockdown during COVID, of course. So he sold it, and this person brought out that chunk of money during lockdown. Hope you understand what I'm saying? Of course, the person selling is not at loss because after we concluded the deal, the sales, it was like he bought the land years ago. I think he bought it around maybe 4 million, 5 million, and it was a land he sold around. It's a huge. Uh, I don't know if I can disclose such amount here. We actually sold it for 85. Right? So it's a big thing for him. So what I'm trying to point out here is it's real estate is profitable even during recession. We had a little technical issue right there, but we are back on Facebook. Our YouTube broadcast is still buggy, but we'll cope. Okay, so as I was saying, the last but not the least characteristics of real estate is it is universally acceptable as collateral. Okay, one of the characteristics, and also one of for your personal use, you will use it as a collateral, as your land. You want to get a loan for your business, you have to use your land or a real estate property as a collateral. All right. Even now, let me give you one tip as well for Nigerians. All right, that wants to you can also uh um you can also leave a comment about it. Leave a comment, yes. For people that goes for what's it called now? Interview, all right, at the embassy for Nigerians that wants to jackpot, that wants to leave the country. When you're processing, when you're running the process, they will ask you if you have a tangible property that has your name on it. And I've seen in most cases, and I've seen in most cases that people that has a land or a particular real estate to their name, okay, they they have higher chances than those that has nothing, that has no property to their name. When you engage the services of a travel agent, they will tell you, do you have a car to your name? Do you have a land to your name? Do you have a house to your name? These are the documents we would tender to the consulate, to the embassy, that you won't abscond when you get there, that you have something tangible tying you to your country. Yes, now you're seeing, right? It's universally acceptable as a collateral. So these are one of the characteristics of real estate. Okay, due to the technical issue, I'm trying to rush up now. Let's talk about people the fears people have in real estate. When they hear the word real estate, they'll be like, what's actually real estate in Nigeria? Excuse me. So especially when they hear the word real estate in Nigeria, they'll be like, hey, real estate in Nigeria. There was a time I spoke to someone in the diaspora. I was like, Madam, the real estate in Nigeria is booming. You should be a particular. She was like, no, the news she's hearing in the news that Nigeria is about to blow up, this one, that one. I said, no. Even if there is a fire, even if there is a fire on a land, the land still remains. It's still yours. Even if there is an earthquake, even if that portion, after it's after it's been rebuilt, that portion is still yours. Okay. Now with real estate, when it is bought with sense, of course, and when you purchase ones with good title, yes, you have to be careful of that. That is where my services comes in. Okay, you have to engage the services of an expert. When bought with common sense, when you do your due diligence, acquire the genuine verified one, that particular portion with its numbers, because with lands and in geography they have their own numbers. Okay, the number in your living room, in your sitting room, is different from the number of the one in your balcony. They are called coordinates. All right, the coordinates are different from each other. That is where your survey plan comes in. Okay, pick the numbers, that is the coordinates on your land, on the four corners, on all corners. They pick the coordinates and get it registered in your name. No matter the natural disaster, those coordinates are registered in your name. They are yours forever. Although land, real estate is let me focus on land really, because now there are some houses that are movable. Okay, we have the prefab houses, the container houses that are movable. So let me just focus on land right now. Land is immovable, all right, but transferable. Yes. So once the coordinates are registered in your name with in your survey, it's transferable. Okay, so the next person you sell it to will be the next owner. All right, so I think I've addressed that to an extent, but if I haven't, please leave a comment in the comment section so I can treat it in the next session. All right, so we are still talking about fears of real estate investing. Also, some people are afraid about the huge cost. Now, I really have to reiterate on this, because you just have to, well, I will help you really to overcome this fear, because there's a saying that it's too good to be true. When there's an offer that is too cheap, with lots of overselling tactics and lots of promises, I know you will question yourself that no, this is too good to be true. When you hear someone tell you that a land with governor's consent, a land in Lekki with governor's consent, wants to sell at the price of 5 million naira, won't you question that offer? Of course you will. For someone, at least for someone with an experience in real estate, you want to question that offer. That how can a governor consent land be valued at 5 million naira? That's not possible. All right. So with huge costs in landed property offers comes with a better and premium package. All right. Now let's talk about a land that has not been excised. They are the cheapest. They've not been excised. Excision. There's no excision on it, meaning government can still come at any time to lay claims on it. They are the cheapest form of land that is out there that people sell. And there are some investors that fall victim of this offers. Why? Because they are running from huge costs. So I can categorically tell you today that with huge costs, with huge costs comes a premium package. All right. And in the Lekki-Ekpe corridor these days, you just have to go for the best offer that has either a C of O or a governor's consent. And those properties does not come cheap. I tell you, they don't come cheap. All right. So that is one of the fears that I've addressed there and how to overcome it. You know, the huge cost comes with a premium package. All right. So lack of information, and this is also one of the fears people face mostly, feel actually when investing in real estate. They don't have enough information to go by. You understand? When you have questions, feel free to come forward, ask. By asking, you'll be equipping yourself with more information. All right. This information will further guide your decisions in the future, in the nearest future, actually. So, lack of information also causes fear in real estate investing. All right. Also, the fear of losing money. Okay. That your fears, actually, I forgot to mention that fear, having these fears, they are normal. Please, it's normal to have this fear. From those fears, the question pops up. You have questions to ask, and you become knowledgeable in the process. People have the fear of losing money. Of course, everybody does that. Every human being that has worked hard for their money has this fear. Okay, but when you deal with an expert that is knowledgeable in the industry, like me, you have no cause to be afraid. All right. Once you have any objections, any questions, I'll have them answered and to help you in this journey of investing. Also, one of the contributing factor to fear is due to previous experience. I've had several experiences people people have had. I've had several experiences. I've heard of a client, the prospect later became my client, is in the diaspora actually. He gave his sister money to build house, totaling 40 million naira. The lady just mismanaged the money, couldn't account for it. The money was nowhere to be found, the project, nothing. And these are people that were supposed to be siblings. All right. So people have had bad experiences in their real estate dealings. All right. But I can assure you, with me involved in your next dealing, you won't have any cause to fear. As a matter of fact, you shower me with gifts. All right. Okay. So, also the contributing factor to fear is land grabbing. Oh, there are horror stories. Land grabbers or moniles, there's a particular community that I heard then, they use a African voodoo for people that comes to buy land in their community. What I heard was when you buy a land, they make sure you pay for, you pay outrightly. After the payment, if you don't look back 21 times, you won't remember where that land is. I heard that. I also heard another one. Of course, it happens mostly. If you buy a land today and you don't start the project immediately, they will say it happened to my own mother as well. God rest her soul. Okay, so many horror stories of buying a land here and your money selling it to another party, like 4 parties will be involved in just one land. So many horror stories about land grabbing, land grabbers and stuff. When it happened to my mom then, you know, she bought one land. She did not develop it. It was just there. No, she did not take possession of it. That's the right word. They sold it to another person. By the time they gave her another land, they gave her a marshy portion that is inside. Oh, it was an so that is one of the fears people have. But with my offers, your fear will be, your worries, your concern will be catered to, will be catered for. All right. Because with my offers, with the offers I have, I unpick them. That is the reason why I use that in all of my presentations. I unpick my offers because I have a team of surveyors working with me. I have a team of lawyers working with me. So for me to push out any project, for me to bring these offers to you, I have done my own due diligence. As a matter of fact, if it does not have a government allocation, popularly known as CFO, it's a no-go area for me. All right. If it's not gazetted, it's a no-go area for me. All right. If it cannot be confirmed with the necessary government parastatals, it's a no-go area for me. All right. So these are the things I do, which I call unpicking, to make sure the offers that I bring on here are genuine and verified. Okay. So also one of the contributing factors to fear is poor quality or poor infrastructure. Okay. Poor infrastructure. Poor infrastructure. The roads to the particular land that I'm buying, or to this project I'm eyeing, the road to the place, is it good? Does government have plan for that area? And in most cases, when 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 um when investors are taken to new sites, they'll see the roads are bad. Of course they won't buy. Okay, of course they won't buy, because the first thing is location. After checking the box of location, is the infrastructure. Is the road motorable? How will it look like in the next 5-10 years? Okay, is it a flood prone area? Are there natural disasters occurring in the area? Okay, so these are also the questions people ask in their mind, thereby contributing to the fear. Okay, so you can also add more concerns, any concerns whatsoever that you have. Add them in the comment section and I will address them in the next session. Okay, keep the questions coming. Now I've also talked about how to overcome all of this. Okay. I must say it is my responsibility. Oh, it is my responsibility to limit or totally expunge these risks for you while investing, because thorough research has been conducted on all projects. Thorough research has been conducted on all projects, like our Tiwa Garden City project, our Itunu City projects. Thorough research has been conducted on all of it, and those are for the IBEJU Lekki project. Now let's go to the Ekwe project. We have the Brodney City. Thorough research has been done on that. We have the Monte Carlo, several of it. Please stay tuned, and you get more updates on my wall, on my social media handles, on all the offers, all the verified and genuine offers that I have. I'll be posting them soon. Okay. So because thorough research has been conducted on all these projects, that is why I say I unpick them. All right, I put myself in buyer's shoes. What do I want? What do buyers want? What do I want if I were the one purchasing this? Of course, I wouldn't choose a low grade product for myself. I wouldn't choose uh, a, a project that is under government acquisition. I wouldn't choose a project for myself that government to come one day and say, no, this land is under acquisition and there's a plan for it. No, that is why I say and picked them, because I've done the thorough due diligence that is needed, you know. So, so one of the steps is to consult, engage me as your real estate advisor, engage me, all right, and also do your own due diligence, all right. You can decide to ask, go on social media to search for news publications rather. What are people saying about this project? What are people saying about this person? What is the government saying about this area? Because there are publications for that as well, where government publishes documents about projects, about proposed projects, about locations that they are going to acquire, about their projects, about their plan. I can categorically say, boldly say, I know Lagos State government does that. It's on their website. You can ask questions, ask people questions. You can also, you know, even if you don't want to purchase your projects from me or invest have your real estate investment through me, you can also engage in my services. I run due diligence services for people. Okay, most especially like people in diaspora. Then they'll call, oh Shay, I'm sorry I did not buy from you, but this person he just came. It was my friend that told me to come to buy. Sometimes I understand. It's my mommy that introduced me to that person. She said I must buy the land from the person. And engage in my services. I do the due diligence for them. No animosity, nothing. I do the due diligence for them, and if it's good, I tell them to go ahead. They go ahead to buy it. So that is that. You need me as your advisor, as your real estate expert. Okay, you need me on your team. I should be your real estate personal assistant. That is what I call myself. Okay, now we've addressed all that. If you have more, please leave them in the comment section, or you can as well send a DM. Okay, so let's talk about it, then I'll address it in the next session. Now let's talk about mortgage. This has garnered so many attention, okay, because it's the system that is used over in diaspora. So I've been getting lots of questions about it from Nigerians in diaspora. Mortgage. So let's start with definitions. What exactly is mortgage? What is it about? How does it work? Who are the people that provides this mortgage service? Okay, let's start with the definition. You know it simply means a loan you get from a bank for purchasing a house. Okay, then you repay over a set time. All right, it's mortgage is a loan you take from a bank to buy a house. All right, so commercial banks and mortgage banks, they engage in these services. They are the active lenders in this category. And we have mortgage banks in Nigeria. All right, we have mortgage bank in Nigeria. There's also the Nigerian Housing Fund, the NHF. All right, so they have their own requirements, and I can tell you it is strenuous. Okay, but with me on your team, with me as your real estate investment advisor and PA, all right, it will be seamless, because there are documents they will require, and there are some factors mitigating against mortgage in Nigeria, but there are laws underway addressing that. Okay, so to get a mortgage in Nigeria, how it works really, some banks they will charge you some interest on it, because it's like I said earlier, it's a loan you'll be getting from a bank to get a house. Let's take for instance, you want to buy a house worth you want to buy a house worth 50 million naira. Okay, some banks will require you pay a 20% of the total sum. Okay, let's say 50 million naira. You want to buy a 50 million naira duplex somewhere in Ajah, because you can't get a 50 million naira duplex in Lekki. Okay, somewhere in Ajah, you have 10 million naira, which is 20% of the total sum. Then you engage the services of a mortgage bank. They will do some processes which I'll be mentioning, but right now let me explain how the interest charges and how the payment works really. All right, so you have the 20%, which is 10 million naira out of 50 million naira. Then you engage the services of a mortgage bank so that they can borrow you the remaining 40 million naira. Okay, so they look at your credit score. We have a credit bureau in Nigeria. They'll check your credit score, your DSR, a lot of process really. I'll be defining some of the terminologies later on. Okay, you engage your services for them to loan you the remaining 40 million naira. All right, and now that the Central Bank of Nigeria has increased the interest rates to 17.5, of course, banks want to make profit, so they'll charge you higher. Some banks charge as high as 23-30% on the loan. Okay, now we are talking about the 40 million naira they want to loan you because you want to buy a 50 million naira duplex. Yes, and you have 10 million. Okay, so now let's take for instance, let's break it down, because I already here in my note. Okay, a 50 million naira house, you pay 20% upfront, which is 10 million. Then the bank borrows you 40 million naira. Okay, here in my note, I calculated a 15% interest. No, 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 because no, they won't use 15% interest, but this is just a rough calculation that I made for you to understand how it really works here. Okay, so the 40 million naira plus 15% interest rate divided by the number of months you will be agreeing. Okay, both parties will agree on a said month duration. Okay, a repayment plan, the duration of your payment. Um, the highest is 20 years. You can decide to go for 5 years, you can decide to go for 10 years, you can decide to go for 20 years. Okay, so the 40 million plus the 15% interest rate divided by the number of months in 20 years. Okay, in my calculation right here, I did a 60 months duration, which is 5 years. Okay, so the 40 million plus 15% interest rate divided by 60 months, which is 5 years, you get to pay 767,000 monthly. To an extent, if you have a good income, is affordable. Okay, and you'll be allowed. You live in the house. It's just that in papers, the house belongs to the mortgage bank because of the loan. Yes, the said house is the collateral in this context. The house, the loan they gave you money to buy, will be the collateral. So in case you default or you don't pay, then the foreclosure comes in, and another process entirely. Mortgage is actually a topic that we can discuss it further in other sessions. Okay, so if you have any questions regarding uh mortgage in Nigeria, how to secure it, how to get it, write out all your questions, send it to me on WhatsApp, send it to me on my Facebook DM, or leave it in the comment section, and we'll address it together. Okay, because I'm on a mission to make you a homeowner this year. It's doable, it's achievable. All you have to do is ask your questions, equip yourself with the necessary information, and you're good to go. All right, so you agree, and there are many other processes. I'll just be listing a few and be giving the definition. All right, so when you're doing mortgage, when you apply for it, you'll be hearing words like DSR. What is DSR? It is debt service ratio. All right. So now, what is this DSR all about? It's a benchmark, okay, used in measurement of a person or entity, a person's ability to produce enough cash to cover the said debt. Okay. Also, you'll be hearing things like the credit bureau, that is the people that will verify if you're eligible or not. They'll check your bank account. So, in the process of applying for a loan, you have to provide your BVN, your bank accounts, your paychecks, your employment letter, because they'll be verifying all to make sure that you can meet up with a monthly payment. They need to make sure that you can meet up with a monthly payment. They will check a lot. You also have to uh, insure the property. A lot of processes that will go on. But anytime you're ready to apply for this mortgage, engage my services, and it'll all be seamless. I'll do the run around for you. You don't have to worry yourself. All right. So I've defined credit bureau, and also you'll be signing a document called the direct debit forms. The direct debit forms. Let's say you can call it a post-dated check or something, but it's not going to be a check. All right. It's just how do I call it, a document that will approve, that will give the mortgage banks the go ahead to deduct your monthly payments from your bank account every month. All right. So that is the direct debit forms. All right. So let's also talk about the mortgage assurance, which I mentioned earlier that you'll be getting for the property. The mortgage assurance is just a policy, it's a protection um, that serves as a compensation for the lenders. That is for the mortgage bank or the commercial bank that you engage their services in. Okay, that you engage their services. Also, let's talk about the property insurance. Of course, you have to insure the property. The banks will make sure you insure the said property before they begin any process, because um, to insure the property against risk, against theft, against fire, against natural disasters, a lot. All right. Also, you'll be paying some fees, which are, I'll call them verification fees, because the said property you want to buy, it needs to have a C of O. Okay, so they will verify, they will do some, a lot of due diligence on their part, which you will be paying for, but it's just within the range of 150 to 200,000. So it's not much. Okay. All right, we've talked about property insurance, we've talked about mortgage assurance, we've talked about the direct debit forms, we've talked about credit bureau, and we've talked about the DSR. All right, and I also mentioned something about the interest rates. Okay. All right, now also you hear them talk about equity property value and stuff. Okay, this basically means the difference between the market value, okay, and the amount you owe the lender. All right, so that's basically that about mortgage. If you have any question about mortgage, most especially because I'll be talking more about mortgage this season, because I want you to become an home owner. I want you to become a home owner this year. I want you to own your own home in Nigeria this year. It's going to be a seamless procedure, a seamless process. Either you're paying outrightly, or you're paying in installments with our offline options, or you decide to go for a mortgage. It's going to be an easy process. All right. Come to my WhatsApp, send a message to me on my WhatsApp, send a message to me in my in Facebook Messenger, and let's begin your process. Okay, let's begin your process. Ask all questions, ask all the necessary questions. Anytime you call, I'll pick your call and address your concerns. All right. So thank you so much for staying tuned. I hope I've been able to address the concerns you have and also answer questions. that you've been pondering, that has been giving you sleepless nights. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for standing by. Thank you so much for joining the live sessions. Till I come your way another time to give answers to your questions and to address more issues. I remain Oluwaseyi Elizabeth, your number one, your preferred Lekki realtor. Till I come your way again, stay blessed and have a wonderful day. Bye. Yeah. Mm.